Hey everyone, Spider-Man 1991 here. Last week I was unable to get a copy of Superior Spider-Man number 33 at any of the comic book stores near me, so I decided to get one. So I decided to buy one on eBay, and I also got another comic related to Spider-Verse, so that way I could balance out the shipping charges. So this is kind of a little bonus video, or rather a follow-up to last week's review. So with nothing but with only two comics, both of them involved with Spider-Verse. So let's get started with Superior Spider-Man number 33. Alright, Karn, the guy on the cover here with the diving helmet and the two-pronged trident. Well, it's not really trident, it's... anyways, Karn is chasing another version of Spider-Man who is actually a cyborg. And then suddenly, the cyborg Spider-Man is joined by Superior Spider-Man's army of alternate Spider-Men, and they all fight Karn. But then Karn's apparently brother and sister show up to help him out, and apparently Karn's. And I'll get into more about Karn because there's a backup to this, detailing about Karn. Anyways, before escaping, pretty much the Spider-Men hold off Karn until they get the opportunity to escape, and. When they get back to 2099, Superior Spider-Man has the other Spider-Man. Well, first he takes a moment to think to himself and talk to his Anna Marie AI that he created, and to figure out what to do. Then when he gets back, he talks to the other Spider-Man, and he has all of them go and scan the multiverse and the time stream for any other appearances of Karn's family. But he talks to two other versions of Spider-Man: Spider-Woman, who's from the Old Man Logan comic, who is Peter Parker's granddaughter and Hawkeye's daughter, and he talks to an alternate version of Peter Parker who's an assassin and was trained by Wolverine, and he says that, and he tells him that the situation could get deadly, and even though the others have killed, and basically saying that if we have to, we might have to commit genocide against Karn's species, and some of the others might not agree with us, and of course Spider-Woman and Black Ops Spidey agree that if that's what happens, then that needs to be done. Also, there is another story to this, a backup where Karn is on another alternate Earth and he's killing the actual Spider God, who I believe was part of the most recent Young Dark Avengers team, or rather an alternate version of him. And Karn is basically thinking about his past, and apparently he and Morlun belong to this family of spider hunters who go around hunting avatars of basically the web of life, so to speak. We're back on that whole Spider-Man web of life, Spider-Man being connected to this giant web that spans across the multiverse. And so basically Karn's family, their sole duty is to hunt all those other versions of Spider-Man. And obviously Spider-Man, the mainstream Spider-Man, has dealt with Morlun, now dealing with Karn, and apparently they have the ability to travel in between worlds. Okay, so Superior Spider-Man number 33. I would say get this if you want, because I think right now, as far as I know, there aren't any other issues of Superior Spider-Man coming out. But if you are going to get Spider-Verse and you want the entire complete volume of Superior Spider-Man, I'd recommend getting this. Also, this issue showed that there are versions of Spider-Man that aren't exactly your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, and we do get to learn more about the main villain of this book. In this case, it's Karn. It's not just going to be Karn. I don't think this time it's going to be Karn or Morlun. It's going to probably be Morlun and Karn's entire family of spider hunters that are going to go up against all of the Spider-Men. So that's definitely what we're going to be looking at. But overall, I thought this was a good issue. Still setting up Spider-Verse, and it does give us more information about the antagonist for this series. So overall, I would say if you're going to get Spider-Verse, you should definitely pick this up. Alright, next up is the other comic that I got that I'm not... It's part of a series for Spider-Verse that I'm not reading because it feels more like an extra series. Edge of Spider-Verse number 2. This one features an alternate version of Gwen Stacy, who got bit by the radioactive spider and became Spider-Woman. Okay, so apparently in this Earth, Gwen Stacy was became Spider-Woman, and Peter Parker became the Lizard because he developed the Lizard formula and became the Lizard because he wanted to be special like Spider-Woman. And I think the dialogue implies that he and Gwen were dating, and also that Peter knew who Gwen was. And so, but eventually, during the fight between Spider-Woman and the Lizard, Peter died. And because of that, J. Jonah Jameson pretty much led the anti-Spider-Woman campaign, and the police are after, are after Spider-Woman, and the person who's the head officer of this task is Captain George Stacy, Gwen's father. Eventually, also in this universe, apparently Gwen is in a band that was founded by Mary Jane Watson, called the Mary Janes. So that was interesting. And also, eventually, though, the Rhino, who in this world is hired to go take out Captain George Stacy by the Kingpin, by Matt Murdock on behalf of the Kingpin, which is weird that in this world Matt Murdock is working for the Kingpin. That's strange. But anyways, Rhino tries to kill Captain Stacy when he's at one of Gwen's concerts, and when this happens, Gwen changes into Spider-Woman and fights him. But after Spider-Woman stops Rhino, Captain Stacy is able to corner her, gets her at gunpoint, and they're the only two around. And so Gwen realizes she has no choice. She unmasks in front of her father and explains to him that she's using her powers responsibly, and that she's mainly doing it to honor Peter's memory, to make sure nothing bad happens to anyone else, just like it happened to him. And so, even though Captain Stacy is a good cop, he ultimately decides to let his daughter go, and so basically Gwen swings off into the night. All the whole time, she's being observed by apparently an alternate version of Spider-Man who is British, because his costume looks like a Union Jack flag. And that's where the issue ends. Okay, Enter Spider-Verse. This is kind of like it's not, I wouldn't say this is necessary to Spider-Verse, but just something extra. Something where we get introduced to alternate versions of Spider-Man that are probably going to have significant appearances in the main story arc. So it's really more of a, it's sort of a prequel that you're not really required to read. I did like how we have a universe where it's not just Peter Parker who can become, the Spider Avatar in this world. And I think using Gwen Stacy and having Peter die was definitely something very interesting. The only thing I wish we could see more, I really hope that if Spider-Verse does well, we get a sort of mini-series for Gwen, featuring Gwen Stacy as Spider-Woman, because I would like to see more of this Earth. I would really like to know why Matt Murdock is working for the Kingpin. That was the thing. Oddly enough, that was the thing that really stood out for me. Well, that and Peter dying and everything, but also how Peter discovered the formula. So, but they don't really go too much into the origins, the specifics of this Earth, but just show you who this Spider-Man of this particular Earth is and what they do. And obviously Gwen will be involved in, also the hint at the end where we saw the British Spider-Man. I think it means that Otto Octavius, the Superior Spider-Man, isn't the only one aware of Karn and Morland's family hunting them all. So that's great knowing that there's not just one Spider-Man building an army. There's others, and I think eventually all these little fractions of Spider-Man are going to come together, and they're all going to take on Morland and Karn's family. So yeah, overall, I'd say if you like Gwen Stacy, you should definitely pick this up if you can afford it. The issue is about $4, but that's really cheap compared to the $5 issues of Superior Spider-Man. So yeah, I would say if you are going to be reading Spider-Verse, you really don't need to get these. They're not required for Spider-Verse, but if you want to give yourself some extra knowledge before going into the main story arc, then you should definitely give these stories a shot. Other than that, the only reasons to get them are if you want to complete Superior Spider-Man the series, or if you're just curious about who these alternate Spider-Men are. So yeah, that's it for me. I hope you enjoyed this little bonus video. My regular comic review should be up shortly. So thanks again for watching. I'm Spider-Man 1991 saying, see you later.